I'm going to do is take my knife. This is the bottom of the nose. I'm going to lay it in there and just get me a little stop cut made. And I'm going to come back here a little bit and I'm going to start taking it off. Now you notice I'm not trying to hog it. I don't want that much. I want to take off probably a little under 3/16 of an inch. And by the way, how deep you go right here is how deep the nose is going to stand off the face. I want to make sure I'm cutting level, so to speak. I'm not rocking one way or the other. Just going to cut that down. Going to go just a little bit deeper. Okay. And then I'm going to kind of cut a little bit to the side. And the reason why is I'm going to kind of round this down. I'm going to take a little bit of that material off the edge there. Okay. If I was carving a face, I would probably do a lot more of this. Excuse me, another face besides a Greenman, because I'm going to have those leaves and I don't want to take too much out right now. I want to leave room, put those leaves in there and have depth for them. Okay. Now if you look at it from the side right there, okay, you can see and I just made a little notch. Now I'm going to come up here and do the same thing, but this notch is going to go deeper so I can have some slant to my nose. Let me get back to the original here and I can show you better. Okay, if you look right here, you can see this point was this point right here, excuse me, was this point right here, and this point right up here, the notch between the eyes, is going to be this point. Now if you'll notice in relationship, let me use my knife, where this point is here, it needs to really be almost back as far as the nose goes in the face. And the nose, by the way, if you look right here, is hanging half off the face. Let me show you a little better. Half off the face and half in the face. One of the most common mistakes is for people to have that nose just hanging off the face and it looks terrible. Okay, so now I'm going to come up here. I'll start me a stop cut once again. Nice stop cut, just kind of rocking it back and forth. Now I'm going to come down here, I'm going to stay about 1/8 of an inch from the end of the nose. I'm going to drop back about 1/8 and I'm going to start easing that back. Okay. You need that cut to be level, and you can tell by looking at this little triangle right here that makes. Let me show you that little triangle right there. And you want your knife to be flat and not leaning one way or the other. You want that to be even and level. Okay, I'll go somewhat deeper. Alright, to rock it, get a little bit more stop cut. There we go. Like so. Take a look at it from the side. Okay, I'm starting to get deep enough. So here's where that is. This notch needs to be a little bit further back. I'll take just a little more out of it. By the way, this also sets your face deeper, which is good. Okay, every once in a while it's helpful to stop and look, and you can look right across here and see if you're level. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now I'm going to come back and I'm going to stick that center line back in. Okay, that's always helpful to keep that center line so that you can make measurements. Alright, now then, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of this back because I want that forehead to just be leaning back a little bit. So I'm going to turn it around and just very carefully I'm going to ease that down. And all I'm really doing this for right now is just to get it out of the way. Just get material out of the way. Okay, just like that. Now you can look and you can see that I've got a kind of a V notch. Here's the nose coming down. There's the start of the forehead coming up. Okay. Now I want to come back and I'm going to come on each side of this with my my V-tool, excuse me, my veiner. Let me do one more thing here. Okay. My nose, I want to drop, a little more than 1/16 on each side of that main line right there. And I want to put a mark. I'm going to leave that material. I don't want to take too much material off that nose, because that nose is actually going to kind of come like this. It's going to kind of spread out a little bit as it goes. Then you're going to be down here with the roundness. We'll do that here in a little bit. Okay. So, but I want to stay to the outside of these lines when I lay in my eye socket, which I'm going to do right now. I'm going to start laying it in. I'm just going to come in here and push and kind of come out. I think I'm going to change tools here. Come in here and push very carefully, and then I'm going to come out. And what I'm doing, I'll show you a little better here in a minute. Okay. You can also come from this direction if you want to, but you got to come out of the wood at that line. Alright. Now I'm just establishing right here. What I'm establishing right there is just where the eye is going to be. And like I said, you need to stop it when you get to that line that we've made on each side of that center line. Okay. Come over here on the other side, get myself in the same place and do the same thing. Now I just noticed I forgot to put my glove on. And this is a good place if you're not careful to stab yourself. Now also I want you to notice that I've got two hands on the tool. See, I'm holding this with this. Here's I got a free thumb. I've got this here. I lay my thumb on top of that tool. And that gives you a whole lot better control. And it also helps you. Okay. Now for now that's probably good. Alright. Now I'm going to just come in here and remove some wood. You notice I kind of drew the nares in. Okay, somewhere like that. And I'm just going to remove a little bit of this wood right now in here. Well, I think, yeah, I want to remove a little bit of this wood just to get it out of the way and start bringing the face back and the nose out from the face. So hang on just a minute and we'll do that. Let me grab a different tool. Okay, I'm back. I got my tool, and what this is this is a shallow gouge. It's a number 7 gouge. Let's see if I can get it where you can see it. Not so good. Well, anyway, it's a number 7, and it's about 1/4 inch wide. This is a Swiss made tool. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start removing some of this wood around the nose. I made these marks because I don't want to take any wood off down in here yet. I need to leave some to do the nares. But right now I'm just going to kind of come in up here and I'm going to start removing some of this wood right down there, because I want to keep that face at that approximate 45-degree angle. Now you notice I'm coming out just about to where I made that line, no further for right now. I'm just removing some wood right here, and I'll actually remove a little bit, which I know is going to be beyond the nose right here. Okay, not much, just a little. Okay, now if you look at it from the side, I don't know, let's see if you can see that. See, it's starting to make this nose stick off the face, and that's what we got to have. We'll actually have to take all this a little deeper in a little bit, but for right now this is probably going to be pretty good until I go ahead and carve the nose. Alright, now just removing just a little more. And also the reason why I do this is you want a smooth transition down the nose and into the face. I don't like an abrupt 90-degree angle, and I used to carve them that way, but I don't anymore. So I'm just going to remove that wood. See what I did there? Not a whole bunch. It's just a little bit, but it looks like we did good. Come over here on the other side and do the same thing. Just going to start removing some wood right here. I'm coming out, like I said, just about to the edge of that mark. Alright. Okay. That's good. Probably enough for right now. I'm going to move a little bit here. Okay. Come down here and get just a little more. Alright. There we go. Now I'm going to start carving this nose. And okay, now I'm going to go ahead and measure the end of my nose. And like I said, a lot of times this is what determines the rest of my face. Now it's helpful if you'll take a set of dividers, and that way you can keep all these measurements precise once you get them. Okay, now basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come out here and make me a mark about where I think I want that nose to end. And then I'm going to take my dividers and I'm going to set them, let me do it where y'all can see what I'm doing. I'll set it right on the center line right here and pull it out to where I want it right there. Then I'm just going to turn it and come over here to the other side and make me a little mark. And come back and put me a little pencil mark right there. Alright, that's going to be the outside boundaries of my nose. And now we're ready to start carving the nose. And the way I generally do this is I will turn the piece around, and I'm going to use that same number 7 that I was using a while ago to get some of this wood off the face. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come and I'm going to lay it centered on that line right here. I'm going to start back a little bit, and as I come down, you're going to round the end of that nose. Now you got to keep that thing straight right on that center line. Sometimes it'll take more than one pass to do it, and you're not trying to take a whole bunch of material off. All you're trying to do is round it, and then when you get it round like you think you want it, push it into the wood. Okay. And if I show you from the side here, it's kind of hard to see. Maybe let me get this pattern out of the way. You might be able to see better the dark background. Okay. All right, you can see that a little bit. We've started rounding that nose up. Okay. Now, if you look at it right here, you can see where I pushed it into the wood, and that's going to create my center line. Now, I'm going to take. I had it this way. I'm going to turn that thing over. I'm going to hook it right in the corner where this little round ball is, and I'm going to take it and I'm going to swing it out and back down, and that creates that hole. And I'm going to come back here and take a chip out right here. Alright, need to do a little bit more here, and this is creating a hole basically. I'm not going to use a gross word, but here we go. Alright, I might come back and change that a little bit here. I might want a little bit more. Now watch it, I'm turning it around like so. And if you can see that. Alright, I'm coming in here and taking out a chip. Not a very good one evidently, but a chip. Push it in deep. There we go. Now I think you can see that. Okay. Now then you got to turn it around, and usually I turn it around this way. And I'm going to come over here on the other side, and you got to match what you've done on that side. Okay. And sometimes that's hard. Sometimes you may end up having to redo one or the other, but you got to make them match until they look basically the same. Do that a little bit more here. Push it in. Alright, remove that chip right there. Okay, let's see what we got there. Let me turn around and look at it. That's not too bad. We can live with that, I think.